Peabody here. Today, Sherman and I are going back to the year 64 A.D. to visit with one of history's most renowned violinists.
Jack Benny?
No, that would be 39 A.D., Sherman. Our illustrious fiddler was none other than the Emperor of Rome, Nero. We set the Wayback Controls, and before you could say, quo vadis, we were standing on the steps of Nero's palace.
I smell smoke, Mr. Peabody.
Oh, that is a bad sign, Sherman, because according to history books, Nero is responsible for setting fire to Rome.
Idiots, what do you think you're doing?
We just put the fire out, Emperor.
You mean you just put the barbecue out? What's more, you've made my steak soggy. Out, get out!
We thought it was a fire, Mr. Nero.
Well, it wasn't. I can't stand fires, yet everyone blames them on me. Oh, dear, there's another one.
In the far corner, the Emperor's throne was raging out of control.
Quick! You get some water and I'll get my violin.
Sherman and I soon had the fire under control. As for Nero, do you always do that?
Do what?
Fiddle during a fire.
Oh, yes, that's quite a quirk with me. As soon as I smell smoke, I have to play. Would you like to hear Laura?
What does it all mean, Mr. Peabody?
Well, there has to be a motive behind these fires, Sherman. Now, who would stand to profit by them?
Goodwill?
No, I'd say Nero's violin teacher. As long as there are fires, Nero fiddles. And as long as he fiddles, he takes lessons, or should. We left the palace and headed for the only music teacher in town, a certain Oedipus Rex.
Is that the violin you're making for Nero, boss?
It is, and this one will guarantee a big fire.
How so?
You see the bow? Well, actually, it's a large match. All Nero has to do is strike it on the strings, and there'll be a hot time in the old town tonight. Now, get out of sight. Here come two customers.
Mr. Oedipus Rex?
You wish the boy to take violin lessons?
No, sir. We came here to advise you to stop playing with fire.
Oh, then you know.
Everything. Unless you leave Rome and promise to give up arson, we'll turn you over to Nero.
I was about to do just that. In fact, behind this door are my overnight bags. I'm leaving Rome on the next train.
Of course, we didn't believe him and decided to look in the back room. There were no overnight bags.
True, but you'll never get out to tell anyone.
It was a trap.
Not only for us, for Oedipus Rex's henchmen as well.
He told me to duck out of sight, so I ducked in here. When that big fire starts, we'll be caught.
He told us of the diabolical violin, and I knew we had to return to the palace immediately. Here, play this fiddle, Sherman.
But I can't play, Mr. Peabody.
I know that. It was a fearful 5 minutes we spent chained to Sherman's concert, but it brought results. The citizens in the neighborhood also resented Sherman's music.
Get out of here!
Arriving at the palace, we discovered that Nero was about to give a concert.
For my first number, I should like to play a Jerry Mulligan arrangement.
If he strikes that bow, the palace will go up in flames.
I grabbed a pull cord on the curtain and flew across the stage. En route, I plucked the match bow from the unsuspecting soloist.
Good work, Mr. Peabody.
It was good, but unfortunately, Oedipus Rex was just as air-minded as I. He, too, flew across the stage, but he replaced the match bow, and before I could make a return flight, Nero had burst into song, and the fiddle burst into flame, and we had a disaster in the making.
I'm afraid it's curtains, Mr. Peabody.
Well, that gave me an idea. I examined the stage curtains, and there was the word I was looking for, asbestos. I merely pulled the knot, and the curtain descended on Nero's performance. As for Oedipus Rex, this didn't stop him. He dashed about the building, giving everyone he saw a hot foot. Luckily, the last person he gave a hot foot to was the chief of police.
Thank you, Citizen Peabody, for saving the palace. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have to start a barbecue in the middle of the city. And, oh, this one is going to be big, big, big.
Realizing that Rome was no place to be in at this moment, we decided to embark for home, but not before we took a unique little violin as a memento of our visit.
That's a funny-looking violin.
Funny-looking, but priceless. This was made by a man named Strada. As you can see, he made various types of instruments.
Is that why they call it a Stradivarius, Mr. Peabody?
That's why, Sherman.